In this video, we'll be taking a close look at the first 6 months of 2023 for this channel. Let's dive right in. The channel was able to rack up over 11 million views, 1 million hours of watch time, 37,000 subscribers, and $29,000 in revenue. Looking at the peak for each of these, we see 287,000 views in a single day in February, due mostly to a viral video. 20,000 hours of watch time in May from a 12-hour live stream that did pretty well. 1,200 subscribers, and over $550 in February, again, mostly from that viral video. If we look at where the revenue came from, January was a terrible month, which is usually the case as advertisers have low budgets to spend on ads. Most months were around the $7,000 range. One interesting metric to look at is RPM, or revenue per mille, which means how much money is made by the channel per 1,000 views. This channel over 6 months averaged about $2.50 per 1,000 views, or $2,500 per million views. RPM can vary wildly depending on what niche a channel's in, but gaming is typically in the 50 cents to $5 range, depending on what kind of games are being covered. We can see some of the top performing videos made quite a bit of money relative to the others, which loosely follows Pareto's law. 80% of the revenue is made from 20% of the videos. Looking at the breakdown of revenue, the vast majority of income came from ads. The channel also has memberships which accounted for just under $500 in revenue, a little over $400 in donations from live streams and super thanks on comments, and we don't really talk about shorts around here. And let's not forget about Patreon, which makes $173 per month, or just over $1,000 for the 6 months. I also run a related second channel which hosts only Let's Play content. In the past 6 months, this new channel was able to gain 1.9 million views, 422,000 watch hours, 10,000 subscribers, and $7,500 in revenue. If we add everything up from both channels, we see a total of 13 million views, 1.4 million watch hours, 37,000 subs. A quick note here, I don't count second channel subscribers because most of them are already accounted for on the main channel and I do not like to double count. And $37,000 in revenue. Let's take a closer look at some of the videos and series that made up all of these stats. On the main channel, these are the top 10 most viewed videos for this time period. Again, Pareto's law dictates that 80% of the views would come from 20% of the videos, which is pretty accurate in this case. Now, let's look closer at some of the strategies that I used in the last 6 months. One major change from the previous year is I began to take interesting clips from the Let's Play videos and turn them into standalone videos. This list is made up of videos that had already been edited for the second channel, so very little extra work was needed to release these, but resulted in nearly $6,000 in revenue, 7,000 new subs, and nearly 3 million views. The next group is made up of tactics videos. Some of these are guides, but I also started testing real-life battlefield tactics in Bannerlord to see how they would work. The results were quite good, with one video even breaking 1.5 million and $2,000 in revenue alone. I'll be exploring this concept with other topics and games in the near future. One interesting thing to note, some videos take off long after the release date. It's difficult to say why, but most likely there was an influx of people searching for Alexander the Great content, and YouTube decided that my video was a good choice. It's always nice when the algorithm makes a mistake in my favor. Let's briefly go over a couple older groups to show how residual income works for YouTube channels. First up are the perks guides. My channel started to take off shortly after starting this series, but it's nice to see that they're still getting views even well over a year later. These have nearly 400,000 views on year-old content. I also covered skill guides which pulled in over 200,000 views without any new releases on this topic. Another new strategy I decided to test out was live streaming challenges. In this case, I attempted to complete a Bannerlord World Conquest in Iron Man mode, all while live streaming the whole thing. My first 2 attempts failed miserably, but I'm about halfway through on my 3rd attempt and already racked up close to 200,000 views and $1,700 in revenue, which is a great return on my time invested. I typically spend 30 to 40 hours on a single video, and these live streams pulled together come to right around 40 hours. I'll also be making 2 to 3 videos once the campaign is done, further increasing my efficiency. I've heard from a lot of guru channels saying that Let's Play series are dead, but I beg to differ.
Iraq, everywhere such as, and
here's the top 10 list from the second channel. Keep in mind, this channel has less than 20,000 subscribers and puts up great numbers. The two best campaigns in terms of views and revenue are the Amir Timur and Harold Hardrada campaigns. Amir Timur gained nearly 500,000 views, 2,000 subs, and just shy of $2,000 in revenue. Harold Hardrada had similar results as well, although this campaign started at the end of last year, so we miss out on the massive release numbers. A final point. Battlefield videos were taken from both of these campaigns, which add up to well over 2 million views in total, bringing the total views for these two campaigns to over 3 million. Sure, the final episodes only get 5,000 views each, or less sometimes, but over the whole campaign, the views are amazing, and the time invested is on par with making 2 to 3 main channel videos. To wrap this up, let's talk about plans for the rest of the year. I plan on tracking time invested on projects much closer in order to determine time spent on a project versus how many views and revenue it produces. I'm curious if the high production value single video produces better results than 2 or 3 lesser produced videos that take up about the same amount of time to produce. I'm also planning on being more efficient with my editing for the Let's Play campaigns, trying to find more videos, guides, clips, and shorts from each of those recordings. I already know there's a lot of lost efficiency in my current process, and I'm really excited to min-max that part of the business. And finally, the website. I'm hosting all of my guides, campaigns, and databases on a website to make it much easier to find videos. Playlists and YouTube search isn't always the best to find what you want. Plus, you can't easily host databases there. Each of my videos will have its own landing page with the full script for easy searching and a direct link to the database with all of my testing data. I'll be adding Google AdSense for each video page in order to pay for the hosting, so it'll be interesting to see if that can eventually become a profit center. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see more videos like this and at what frequency. I could do every 3, 6, or even 12 months depending on if there's interest or not. A huge shout out to the channel members and Patreon supporters who help me out. I appreciate you.